Hallo und willkommen to lesson number 3. In this lesson, as I announced last time, we are going to talk about letter combinations. So, we already covered the whole alphabet, the normal alphabet from A to Z. Now we are talking about certain letters acting together and therefore having another sound. Let's talk about vowels first. You might have heard about Umlaute. Umlaute are combinations of letters which you see as A or U with 2 dots on top, as you can see here. So here we have the first one, A with the dots is pronounced Ä. Ä. The O with 2 dots becomes Ö. Ö. It's a sound that you might know from French, but very particular to the German language as well. Then we have the U with 2 dots, which becomes Ü. So those 3, Ä, Ö, Ü. Okay, this is a combination because what it actually is, it is an A, an O and a U followed by an E. So, A plus E becomes Ä, O plus E becomes Ö, U plus E becomes Ü. Okay, this is important when, for example, you are writing something on your keyboard, on your international English whatever keyboard, and of course you don't have these letters Ä, Ö, Ü. So what you do, you use the combinations AE, OE, UE, which are correct, because what would not be correct if you just use A, O, U. So the correct version AE, OE, UE, AE, OE, UE. Same goes for if someday you happen to make a German crossword. Or we in Germany, when we are doing a crossword, we have to use those combinations in order to be correct. Okay, for the pronunciation, it is different because in English you don't have Ö or Ü, but just practice and listen carefully how people pronounce it and try to imitate. Okay. Then we have diphthongs. A diphthong is also a combination of vowels. And yeah, in German we have 5 vowel combinations I need to mention here. Let's start with AU. AU is simply pronounced Au. Au. Okay, like when you're hurting yourself. Au. Then we have EU, which is always pronounced Oi. EU becomes Oi. Unless we have it in a foreign word, like we use the French word friseur, that we have EU, but we would pronounce it the French way. Okay, then we have the letter combination Ä plus U. So you can see we already have our umlaut Ä and a following U, and this is also pronounced Oi. No exceptions, so we have 2 sounds that create an Oi sound, EU and Ä-U. Okay, then we have EI. EI is always pronounced I. And it is very common. You will see it in so many words and you always pronounce it I. And the last one, the opposite, I and E, I plus E, which just becomes a very, very, very long E sound. So whenever you see I, E, you just pronounce it in a very long manner. So you wouldn't say ie, like pronouncing those singularly, but just they form together a very long E. Okay, That's all there is to know about vowel combinations. Now we get into the consonants. And there are a few combinations that are really important and need clarification. So, a major thing is the CH, a very, very common combination in the German language. And the pronunciation of this varies, and it depends on what other letters accompany the CH. And what it really depends on solely is the very letter before the CH combination. So, for example, we have ACH. This is pronounced ach. This is not a word, it's just a combination of letters that occurs in many, many words. So, after the A, after R, you always have this guttural CH, ach. Okay. This changes, however, after the letter E, for example. After the E, in German, E, the CH becomes a very different sound. So, the combination ECH is pronounced ech. You don't have this guttural ch anymore. It is just some air leaving your mouth through gritted teeth, so ech. This is also this sound only exists in the German language. And it might be a bit difficult at first, but again, just listen carefully and try to imitate, and then one day you will manage to pronounce that. And yes, you don't only have this after the E, but also after the I. So, ICH becomes ich. And you might have heard this word because it actually means I. So, ich, I. And yeah, so we have after the A, guttural CH, after E and I, a very, let's call it a soft CH. Now we have O and U. After those two, the H again is hard guttural. So OCH, och, UCH, uch. These are not words, but they occur within many words. So it's important to know how to pronounce them correctly. So far we have ach, ech, ich, och, uch. Okay, so the rule is after E and I, the CH is soft. So what happens after ä, ö, and ü? I explained before, in the ä, ö, ü, there is a hidden E at the end. So it's AE, OE, UE. And because there is this E, the CH that follows has to be soft, because we just established the rule after E, CH is soft. So, after those, ech, öch, üch. Very soft and not in the throat. Okay, then after other vowel combinations like AU, EU, AU, EI, IE. The same rule. So let's look at AU. It ends with a U, and after U we have the rule, the CH is hard, it's in your throat. For all the others though, now we have EU. We do have the U at the end of this combination, but I told you before the pronunciation of this one is oi. So practically we have an I, like O-I, oi. EU is pronounced oi. And therefore, if a CH follows, it is soft again. Euch. Then, same thing for EI and IE. It ends with first with an I and then with an E. So the rule is CH is pronounced softly. So, eich, ich. Okay, I know this might be very difficult to memorize all at once, but practically, just remember there are only 4 vowels or vowel combinations when the CH is actually the hard sound in the back of your throat. So the CH is only hard after A, O, U and the combination AU. In all the other cases, it is this very, very soft sound. Okay, let me quickly try to explain how to produce that sound. What's happening in your mouth when you're doing that? You are sort of biting your own tongue. Like you push your tongue through your molars, so the back teeth, and then just let out some air. So just try to do it and yeah, maybe you will manage. Maybe not at first, but the important thing is to know that the CH is not always and actually mostly not pronounced in a very hard way. Okay. Another very interesting letter is the S and its combinations. So we have the single S, the double S, and this weird shape, the SZ. You might have seen it. It looks like the Greek B. And they are all the same letter, more or less. Okay, the normal S I have already explained last lesson. Now we have double S and SZ. These are the same, basically. So if you, for example, need to write this weird S because it's part of a word, but you don't have the keyboard to do it, you just write double S and it is correct. Okay, for the pronunciation, what is the actual difference? The S sound itself is the same in both. So double S and SZ are pronounced S, like a sharp English normal S. Okay, the one thing that changes though is the vowel that precedes. So, if we have a double S after a vowel, the vowel is pronounced short. If we have this SZ after a vowel, the vowel is prolonged. Example, Straße, which means street. Maybe you have seen that. Straße. The R sound becomes so long because we have this SZ following. For example, Gasse, which is also a sort of street, but narrower, smaller. In this case, we have a double S after the A, and that makes the whole R sound very short. So we have Straße versus Gasse. You can hear the difference there already. Okay, another S combination is the combination SCH. This is very, very common, and it is simply pronounced sh. And yes, it is always pronounced like that, and there is actually nothing else to say, but so you know, SCH is like the English SH, and you will find it a lot. Okay, and one last combination, or two last combinations for the S, is the S in combination with a T and with a P. And this is a bit tricky because the pronunciation varies depending on the position of this. So we have many words starting with ST. And in this case, the pronunciation is not like in English. Like, let's take the word start, which in German is the same word, but pronounced Start. Start, start. And this is the case only because the word is starting with the ST. If we have ST at the end of a word, this becomes st, like in English. For example, the word fast, fast, which means almost. There we have it at the end of the word and the sound changes. Okay, so then you sometimes have it in the middle of a word. So what do? Here, for example, we have the word kosten. Kosten. In this case, the thing with the syllables is there again, because the syllables are separated between S and T. So of course you can't pronounce it like in the case when the word is starting with an ST. So kos, first syllable, ten, second syllable. Okay, so again, it's just a question of where it is within the word. Exactly the same goes for SP. If a word starts with an SP, as in spielen, spielen, to play, SP is sp. If we have it in the middle of a word, which is really not very common, but it happens, like in the word prospect, prospect, like in English, prospect, same thing, then S and P are separated and therefore do not create this sp sound. Okay, what doesn't exist would be the SP at the end of a word, so don't worry about that. Okay, yes, that's been all the letter combinations to know. And I want to repeat again, once you know all the rules, you can't read anything wrong ever again. So try to learn them really good, and yes, then you will be fine for whatever word you see. Okay, thank you for joining again, and I will see you in the next lesson. Tschüss!